Hello guys, I'm Bart van Oeckel and we race under the name Bart and Nens van Oeckel. Nens is my wife. She helped me in the racing.
How many youngsters do you race every year? From how many pairs do you breed?
We have 45 breeding pairs and we breed every year 300 youngsters. 100 race for the racing and 200 only for the training for the results in the future. We race as yearling. We race every year with 150, 160 yearlings and old birds. In the video you can see the new lofts, and we move in 2014 from the old place in a small loft to the new place here in Schuurhoven in a very new racing loft. We pair up the breeders 10 December and we win the youngsters then the 1st February. And then we give for the fooding the breeding mix 2 months, and then after the breeding mix we give a light mix van Beyers, Galaxy Light, and this is better for the young birds for the training. This is a light food, and normal we give 1 week the light food, and then the youngsters can better in the...
So, I ask you a question. What is the difference between light food and breeding?
The breeding food is the food with more...
high fat.
High fat and proteins. More proteins.
Okay.
And in the light food is small...
smaller seeds and smaller food.
Yes, it is
Your colleague...
Less fat.
And this is Lisbeth, and Lisbeth...
I'm helping out Bart and Hans with their English.
The translate.
Yeah,
my English is not good, and Lisbeth talk.
I help them out. They're really good friends of mine. And
speaking a little bit about the breeding mix, the light mix. You say you put the light mix at what age?
2 months.
2 months.
We give 2 months breeding mix on the youngsters and then a light mix.
For how long, the light mix?
To the races from 240 kilometers, that is 150 miles. And then is the races more distance, then we give fat mix.
So you're giving the light mix from the time they are 2 months old through training?
Yes.
All the way to the longer middle races?
Yes, to the 150 mile races.
You're feeding how many times a day?
This moment is the youngsters is 4 weeks old, 4 times every day.
4 times.
And in the future 3 times, and after 1 month 2 times.
And what do you do about vaccinating these young birds?
With, we once the young birds at the nest and we put in the loft and we vaccine with herpes.
PMV herpes.
PMV herpes. This is very important in the first ending, I think. And then after 2 weeks we end for Paramyxo with Colombovac.
Okay.
And then 3 weeks later we end for the pox.
The pox with the brush. Okay, yes. Okay.
And then after 3 weeks we vaccine with for the paratyphus, the salmonella.
You vaccinate here or here?
In the neck.
In the neck. Yeah. Young birds. Now you have 300. You told me.
Yes, we have.
But 1 round is 100.
100, yes.
And these are your primary racing birds.
Yes.
And you have vaccinated these pigeons now.
3 times.
Herpes, Paramyxo, Colombovac, pox and salmonella.
How far behind the pox vaccine is the salmonella vaccine?
2-3 weeks, okay. It's not important.
Okay. Use any special medications on those birds at this time?
We follow the system of the vet Raf Herbots. He heeft een good program. He heeft good products. The new products from the Herbovet line is very well. Every year the results every year better and better with the new products.
Do you have a favorite product of his?
In the winter time, for the breeders and for the malting, is Herbial very important.
Herbial.
Yes, and Herbocol.
Herbacol.
In the racing is Herbosol and recovery very important. The yellow drops for rough very important in the racing season. From the 350, 400 mile races every week, 2 days before basketing, we put 2 drops, not in the strut or in the nose. This is different than the most guys, but I think it is better in the nose.
You use it in the nose and the throat?
No.
Just the nose?
Just in the nose.
And
just the nose. Each side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both sides. And which day is this?
2 days before basketing.
And
Normal, rough talk to the guys the day before basketing, 2 days before the race. We do it 2 days before basketing.
they are in the basket for 2 nights. You're the same?
Yes, the same.
Eating then on Thursday, and you are racing on Saturday.
Yes.
What do you do about starting to train?
We give 7 days product medicines of rough for the head.
For respiratory.
And then we give a short cure for the canker.
A short cure for canker?
Yes.
For 3 days?
3-4 days.
Okay.
And then 1 week for the head. And then we put in the basket and we train the small races.
Small distances.
Small distance. 2 mile, 4 mile, 5 mile, 6 mile, and then
They come home directly.
Then we put in the basket the next day for a little farther.
So you're training every day?
Yes.
Yes.
And they go a bit further every day.
And we train to 35 miles.
On their own, so they drive for 35 miles on their own. So
On their
that's-
own?
Yeah, that's Nance, that's driving
Nance
with
is-
the birds every day until they go to 35 miles, and after that, their first real race.
So she is the training master?
Yes.
Okay. So if suppose you have a bad race, a bad toss, bad training, you go back to the same place? You come short? You come shorter to build that confidence?
Yeah.
And go back again
Yes.
every day. Weather in Belgium is different than the States. Weather here in Belgium is oftentimes heavy overcast. You
Yes.
train in that weather too?
The youngsters that have never seen bad weather, they're not going to be trained in bad weather. Only the more experienced ones. So for the youngsters to build confidence, they are going to be trained in good weather only.
Okay, so sunlight. Yeah?
Not
always
only
sun.
sun. We will with scarf.
Clouds.
Okay, some scattered clouds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But only a bright sky neither.
And,
Bright sky is not good for youngsters either.
Yeah.
A little rain is no problem. This is very important for the first races from the babies.
Yeah.
Clouds.
And what time of day do you train normally? What time?
Yes, this is different here. We see the weather. We can starting 5:30 in the morning with the olds. Yes, then is it 8, 9.
So your young bird season is starting in April, May?
End of April.
So these youngsters are now from winter hatch, so they are what, 4 months old?
Yeah, they're weaned today, so it's the 1st of February. So these ones are going to be on their first training races end
May, begin May.
of April, beginning of May. From the moment they're trained, they're trained by car. They fly twice a day around the house.
Okay. So your first race is end of April, end of May?
End of May is the first race in the club.
Okay. And then they race every week?
Yes, yes. And sometimes 2 times in the week, in the short distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, yes, because we have flights on Wednesday as well.
So all 100?
Yes,
they all go to the race?
All 100?
Yeah.
And you speak about your special system. You have 12 that you pick, males and 12 females. Can you explain that system? After your young birds have been raced, how many times and to what distance, and then you make the selection?
The young birds race 4 or 5 races from 100 mile, and then we put 12 young hens and 12 young cocks in a separate loft with an old partner, and we pair up 10 days, and then we separate, and then come the youngsters in a normal system for the training. But before the race, the next race, she come together with the old partner. With 100 youngsters, and after 4 or 5 races, we have 75.
Yeah.
We put 12 left, 12 right, and the rest pair up in the cuddling room.
Oh, you let them pair up?
Yes.
Okay.
They pair up amongst each other.
Okay.
Yes.
But then 12
Okay.
young hens will be coupled to 12 old cocks, and 12 young cocks will be coupled to 12 old hens.
Okay.
But only for 10 days. And then they go back to the youngsters' loft again. And just before the race, he let them see the young cocks, their old hens, and the young hens, their old cocks. But only 12 couples. And the rest can pair up.
And they stay together all the time?
Not all the time. They can come together after a few races. They're being separated.
You mean the whole group of 75?
Yes.
They are separated.
Yeah. And they can come together in the cuddling room.
On shipping day.
Yes, it's from the national races on shipping day and when they come home. But before that, on the shorter races, they don't see each other before the race. Because results aren't that important here on short distance races.
Sometimes we lose 1 young hen of 1 young cock in the system on 12.
Yeah.
We put another.
Okay. Do you see a difference in the results?
We do it for the first time last year, and the results from the 12-12 is very, very good, better than
the group.
Rest.
Do hens fly better than cocks?
Last year the cocks.
The cocks flew better.
We live on the end of Belgium, in Antwerp. This is the area, the same of the Cruises Jensens and Louis van Loon.
Longest
distance of
in
Belgium.
We race with the young birds 4 national races. For us is the 350 to 400 miles. This is different with the start of Belgium. This is 100 mile different.
Take young birds to 400 miles.
Yes,
you do.
La Souterraine is 620 kilometers. I think this is 400 miles.
360, 370. That's a good distance. Yeah, that's very important. So that is your furthest young bird race, is La Souterraine?
Yeah.
For us, the most important race of the year. We win 2 times the first national in 2006, 2011, and every year we make 1 or more prizes in the first 10 of the national.
We do race the young ones to this distance, 360 about miles.
Miles, yes.
And your results with that in young birds is very good.
Yes. 25 to 30 youngsters by Raf Herbots, and he raced only on the national races, and the results with us birds is very well.
You mentioned in your briefly in the loft you use a docketing system? So you fly the first group on darkening?
Yes, we darken we start begin of March and we finished with the darkening 15 May. 65.
60, okay. Says all of those youngsters will be in the darkening system?
Yes, yes.
So when do you put those youngsters in the darkening system? When do they go to the dark?
1st of May, March.
March.
So they are, how many flights have they dropped?
No.
None?
No. Dus op this moment the natuur,
The nature.
the nature is
It's too dark. Oh,
system.
Yeah.
okay.
It's still dark in the
At
morning.
6 o'clock is dark.
Okay, okay. You're already on a darkening system living in Belgium. We don't have that problem.
The youngsters born in April, then we put the darkling.
Okay.
Immediately.
So you have the luxury of being able to breed these youngsters, take them now, wean them, and not darken them until
1st of March.
1st of March.
For 4 weeks.
And then the day is longer than 10 hours then.
Okay. We darken for how long?
Until the 15th of May.
Till the 15th of
So
May.
6
And
weeks.
she have 9 hours light every day.
Per day, okay.
Yes.
And when you take them out of the dark, do you gradually do it? Or how?
No,
No, immediately.
Immediately?
Yes.
Just
yes.
from 9 hours of daylight,
No, 15, 16.
16 hours of daylight. No problems with that at all?
No.
When it's too hot, by the time we stop darkening, we have to pay attention that we don't feed them too much. Because then you might have a problem of the young bird's disease of adeno. Feed less. So that's the only problem that could occur when we stop darkening and only when it's too hot and also after each vaccination for 2 or 3 days Bart feeds less because they're also very how do you call it? Stressed. Yeah, they are stressed, so they can get adeno rather quick.
Okay.
Does he feed less, but the type of feed or just a less amount?
The amount.
Just less of the same food.
Okay.
Yeah. During the training of the young birds, in the start of the training of the young birds, it might be that the weather is too bad to train them. But even then, they try to make it a useful day for them. So they're going to take the birds and put them in a basket for one night and one day and then get them out again. So the day is useful and also then they feed less because they can get a bit stress out of it.
Yeah.
From the moment they go to the national races, they get high fat food because it's rather heavy, the races for the young birds. And when they get home, they get half high fat food and half breeding mix. So because in the breeding mix there are a lot of proteins and they're really needed during those 4 or 5 national races. Also during these races we give a lot of side products for their health and their recuperations, like
The
recovery from herbal It's really important.
And
herbal salt as well.
And herbal salt. And when you give the fat food, what day of the week is you increasing the fat? Any particular day or the whole week?
Every day fat.
High fat food.
Every day?
Yes.
Yes. When we have a bad race and the next week we have no race, or we don't race, then we give the light food a couple of days.
But when the weather is normal and when they race all the flights, all the national flights, it's high fat food during the entire time. Only when they get home, they get half high fat, half breeding.
So do you have an idea about the percentage of fat? We're speaking about high versus low, so what?
9, 10, and we have a special sack.
Special mix?
Special mix, the top energy van bears. And this is, I think, 15% fat.
Fat?
Yes. This is only for the big hard races. Even the oil of the herbal
Yeah.
And we give a lot of peanuts.
Peanuts?
Yes.
Peanuts for consumption.
For the
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For human consumption.
And you give these peanuts every day?
in the 500 kilometer, the 350-mile races, then every day. The smart cannon.
Yeah, within a few weeks they're starting to learn, the youngsters, to eat these peanuts.
Yeah.
They start off with half and they grow it, so they know the taste. And when they come in after a training, a daily training, they always get a portion of candy seeds and these peanuts.
Percentage-wise, how much peanuts in the mix?
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. But this is 5 grams per bird. Only with
5 grams total feed per bird.
No, only the candy mix. So it's really a treat.
Okay.
It's really a treat. It's 5 grams of treat after a training, daily training. And it's also, the birds come in really quickly because they know really fast that they get this treat, this kind of treat, and that's of course important for the races as well.
So your candy mix, which is separate from your regular mix, is 5 grams.
Yes.
And half of that is peanuts.
Yes.
Okay.